As we journey through life, we all encounter ebbs and flows, many highs and lows. We often come across stumbling blocks that leave us feeling quite disheartened or unsure about how to move back to the realm of possibility and positivity. No matter what we undergo, we all can embrace the journey, tap into the tools to push through and overcome, and find the beauty in the ashes. This is Odyssey with Yendi, Beauty in the Ashes. I don't know if I'm going to start this by saying life more abundant.
Yeah,
Andrew's Andrew's link up. Toni, how are you?
Hi Yendi, I am fine. I'm doing good. I'm at peace. I am.
You know that peace thing is a serious thing. You know,
It
many
is
people
serious.
don't have peace.
It is serious.
Yeah.
The other day my friend was getting married. Love's birthday the other day, and I said to them, you know what I pray for you? For peace. It feels like the ultimate.
Yeah.
I love love, you know, and love is the answer for everything. But you see, peace, only when you feel it, you know what I talk about.
That's
Seriously.
right. That's
peace.
right.
So I'm at peace.
And I feel like hearing you say peace has so much weight, knowing your journey, because it's not been peaceful, it's not been smooth, it's not been any of these
As
things.
everybody might think, no, it hasn't. So
Yeah.
my peace is I had to go through what I had to go through to reach where I am, because I was not ever here, and I felt my growth. I literally I felt my growth, and I want everybody to know that everybody have them thing no matter how you see them out the road.
That's right.
And if I can help even one person, believe me, I'm grateful for that.
I can tell you personally that I know that you'll help more than one person,
That's
because
excellent.
your experience is something that is so common, not a Jamaican thing, not a
It's taboo.
Caribbean thing, globally, and it still feels taboo.
It still feels taboo. That's what I've realized.
Yeah.
But I've been one of those who, even though I go through them something there, I still talk about it.
Yes.
And when we get further, you'll say, oh, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah. Let's go back to 2009. You know why I want to go to 2009? Because people meet people and people say,
Yes.
oh, you know, some people cute, you know, some people have a buzz.
Is
that how it went?
That's exactly how it was. So I met my spouse, as I call him, my lovey juice. Everybody's like, where you get that name from? But I just my little name that.
Yeah.
I met him through my friend, my
Yeah.
very good friend, Sasha.
Bam.
Sasha Sepal, yes.
Yes.
Who is also the godmother of my son, one of the godmothers for my son.
Yeah.
So one day I followed her somewhere and I said, Sasha, who that? She said, you don't know him? You don't know him? I said, no, because we had a group of friends.
Yeah.
And I was the only one that wasn't out there with her.
Yeah.
I always lock up at home because I have a mother who shelter me, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So when I see him, I said, who is that? And she introduced us, and that's where it started.
Yeah.
That's where it started. It hasn't been one of the best roads, but it's a road where a story was formed. I can tell my story. He was the brother of somebody who is known, but at the same time, I'm very quiet.
Right.
So I allow him out there, me inside. I tend to call myself an introvert.
Yes.
Because I like to be quiet with my feelings, but at the same time I realize that God has tried to draw me out. Because the situation where I go through, it has to be that.
Yeah.
Because me I say, I'm so quiet, I'm so emotional, I love ball, like you. And I have friends like that, but
Yeah.
God, you must trying to draw me out. You say, girl, you're too shy. Just open up, wings and get uncomfortable. Because that's how change comes.
Ooh.
And I was forced into it.
Yeah.
I was forced into it. So it was a situation where I met him and said, all right, let me see where I go from there. But it wasn't one of the easiest roads at all.
And it's fun. It's not a matter of nothing. I actually remember you being very quiet from even high school. You were
I am.
always very, you're pleasant,
I'm
you're
shy.
lovely, but you're shy.
I am
So
shy.
being thrown into a space
I
where your
am
partner is
shy.
out there,
Yes, and everybody who really know me will say, yeah, man, she's shy. If she gets around here and she talks a lot, it's because she's
comfortable.
comfortable.
Yeah,
That's really what it is.
yeah. So you guys are courting, you're doing your thing, life is happening, and
Life is
then
happening.
something happens.
So in December 2013, I got pregnant. First of all, I have what you call endometriosis.
I did not know you do that. You have that.
Yeah. So endometriosis is just becoming common.
Right,
But a side effect of it is, infertility.
right.
When in March we were yellow to support women going through it.
Right.
I remember every month I have to take a whole heap of pills just to be okay.
Yeah.
I remember being in at high school at Andrews and I live at the nurse because my belly is hurting me. So we all know what I mean when I say my belly is hurting me. But I had it for 7 days. Typically, persons have it for 3 days or five, I have it for seven. So a side effect of endometriosis
Is
is infertility.
infertility.
So when I saw that I was pregnant in December 2013, I was so glad. Went through the Christmas, went through the New Year's pregnant, me feel good, you know? And then January, I just started spotting. I'm like, call the doctor. She said, don't worry, just take some pills. And then one Sunday night, can't forget, I was spotting more than usual. So I called her. She said, go up to UA. When I went to UA, I was in so much cramps. Apparently, I was having contractions and I didn't know. By the way, I was only 6 weeks at the time. And while being there, I need to use the restroom. So I went and I used the restroom and I just see something come out. I saw the eyeball, like the black spot. So I said, nurse, come here. They said, what is this? She said, oh my God. So what that mean? She said, when it's go inside, they'll talk to you. But you know what's funny? Me, I go through something like that. I go in something so emotional. And when I went inside, Yuri told me to come back because it's not an emergency. And the bed is full of blood. So I'm like, what do you mean it's not an emergency? I'm pregnant and I'm bleeding and I just see something come out. What that? So I didn't have to do the DNC.
Yeah, because everything
Everything
passed.
passed. So I guess that's what you call a spontaneous abortion
Right.
when it wasn't forming properly. So like when I even have friends know that going through situation, I would ask them and I would know, was it that, it wasn't forming properly. But fast track now, March 2014, I got pregnant again. Say yes. I did afraid though, because I have the last time.
Understandably, yeah.
But this time, when I passed the period that I passed the first time,
You
I started
breathe a little
telling,
easier.
yes. So I
Yes.
called friends and tell them, and then um, it was progressing nicely. I didn't develop any complications. Neither did the baby. My pregnancy was fine. I stopped wearing heels that I do to wear flats. And then, fast track again, my baby shower was the Saturday. The Sunday, I went to the beach with a friend, and who would know? And by the way, I was supposed to leave the Monday. So the Saturday was a shower. I went to the beach the Sunday, and I was on my flight was 5 a.m. Monday morning to leave to go to Atlanta, where I would then have my baby. So I was
And
going to
how
my
far
aunt.
pregnant were you at this point?
I was 7.5 weeks.
7.5 months.
7.5 months, sorry.
Yeah.
Right. So um when I went to the beach, and I was in the water for maybe 5 minutes, not long, because I was pregnant and I just feel water running down. So I said, what is this? I don't pay it no mind. So I called my doctor friend and I said, Patrick, I just feel water running down. What's going on? He said, it seems as if I have ruptured my membrane. I said, but I wasn't doing anything. Where are you? I said, Portland. He said, I have to go to the hospital. So when I went to the hospital now, I had to sit. Once I was standing, water was running. But while I
Right.
was
Once it
leaning to the
flat.
side, right.
Right.
So when I went to the hospital now, they said, they checked me. She said I was dilated 2 centimeters. So she have to admit me. So I said, admit me where? She said, here. I said, I'm not staying here. This is not where my doctor is. She said, you have to stay here. I called my doctor, Dr. No, Professor Frederick, and I called Andrews where he works, and funny enough, he was there. So he spoke to me on the phone. He said, let me talk to the nurse. He said, send her up on an ambulance. I hear she said, they don't have the ambulance right now. So I say,
Are you still in Portland?
yeah,
Wow.
on the bed. And I was having, you ever hear Jamaicans say, yeah, you have Diego? Like I
Yes.
was there and I was shaking because I didn't want to
Yes.
be there. I don't know what's going on. I'm not
Oh,
near my doctor. I'm not
Tony.
near lab. I was having Diego and I was just bawling. I'm like, what's going on? But my friend Khalifa was with me. She not leave me an inch.
I remember Khalifa.
She not leaving me an inch.
Yeah.
So when I went to the hospital, the doctor said to send me up. She said she don't have any ambulance. He said, find one.
Same way.
But while I was there, she was checking me, wanting to admit me, and I said, I'm not staying here. I'm not comfortable here. I'm not staying here because I like place were clean. Sorry, but I'm not staying here.
Right.
I don't know if that's the emergency part, but I'm just not staying there. So I went up on the ambulance, and by the way, nobody in the drive like an ambulance. Them fling it all about. So even though I had to lay down with my feet elevated to not allow, that's
Yeah,
exactly
sweeping at
what
the
it
back of
was.
the.
And I had to be holding
Oh
on.
my
And like I would tell the
God.
nurse, they sent a nurse with me that I need to urinate. When I was urinating with the car swinging, it was a journey. And
A
Khalifa was driving
mess.
behind them and
A
she not leaving me
mess.
an inch. So when I went there, I called Love, he met me there. My parents met me there. So I was actually at Andrews with my feet elevated
Right.
to avoid
Any of
any
the amniotic
liquid
fluid coming
coming
out.
out, right? So when I went there, all my friends that were at the beach came. It was probably 5 of us. So my feet were elevated. No, this was the Monday. The Sunday night, the Monday,
It's supposed to be on the flight.
yeah, I didn't make the flight, obviously. So the Wednesday, my belly started hurt me. So other friends came, because I'm pregnant and I'm in the hospital. And I started feeling some pain. So my friend Kenisha said, let me time this. Every 5 minutes, it's contraction you're having. But the nurse come and say, she put me on the pain machine, it's not contraction. I said, but it have to be something because this is not normal. I've never reached here before. So Kenisha said, Tony, I'm not pain her no mind, you're having contractions. The doctor came. When I went to the operating room, she literally came in 10 minutes. So I didn't really experience a lot of labor. She came in 10 minutes. When she
She being
came,
the
the
baby.
baby. When she came, she wasn't crying. So, that's concern. Whatever the doctor did, she cried a little, but her lungs weren't fully developed. So, she had to go to Bustamante, and there it began. Funny enough, because I said I had endometriosis, I did a surgery to treat endometriosis the March before I was first pregnant.
So to clear out the
Right,
particles.
right. When I did that surgery, I actually made a post on Instagram and I said, my journey now begins. Because if I'm going to treat, first of all, I couldn't stand the cramps. And then second of all, the infertility. So I was cleaning out what,
Readying your body to
right.
carry a baby. Yeah.
So when she come at 7.5 now, there are babies who have been born at 7.5 and they're fine. But for me, some reason, I wasn't thinking where life actually took me. I wasn't looking there because
Yeah.
couldn't wait to breastfeed and all of those things. So Love had to bring her to Bustamante Hospital. I couldn't go because I was still there. But then I was released the day after. They wouldn't make any decisions with just the father there. And that got me upset because I have a father that is just like there. And I don't want to make no decision because the mother not there. Me never agree with that. But I don't know if it's some law or some rules.
Right.
That's why that happened. So when I went there, she was in the hospital. That again was her next torture. When they're cleaning her fluid, when they're taking out the tube, she's so small, push it up in her nose, she just a bleed, and I'm like, nurse, I can't manage this. And I just bawling. I cannot manage this. I cannot manage this. Like, why does the nurse have to be so rough? Look how small she is. My situation there, I got tired. At the time, my husband was still traveling. I got so tired. One morning, I wake up and he called me and saying, going to the hospital, right? Because he wasn't here. And I said, no, you're not here. I'm not going. I can't do this by myself. Love said, Tony, she needs to hear your voice. And I said, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. And nobody else could come. So this is me alone. And I said, love, I can't do this. Anyway, I tough up and I go. And typically I cried. And by the way, when I look on her, I see my mommy. Because she look exactly like my mother, who I look exactly like. But because her hair is low, I see my mother. My mother couldn't see her. Everybody calling me. I've updated. I don't know what to say. She just not coming home today. And then one day she was there. One of the nurses allowed me to hold her. And I got some pictures, and that's all I have left. Because that day, she had what you call a cardiac arrest. No, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how that happens, but I think this was at the time with the premature babies, by the way. So it wasn't uncommon that something would happen. So apparently she got the infection. She in the hospital, she get the infection and she had a cardiac arrest. And I see them surround her, put up the screen. Whatever they did, they got her to come back. So her heart stopped. They got her to come back. There was no space in the ICU. So I said, what are you going to do? I don't know how all of a sudden space appeared. They said a baby just left or something like that. So they admitted her to the ICU. The ICU is a little bit different than where she was though, because the ICU strictly one parent at a time. But when you see her there in there, it's freezing cold. She not no cover. She just lay down there with this thing stuck up in her nose. And I'm like, I just like that and you can't cover up. She not cold. Them say, no man, she alright. Anyway, lo and behold, go home to get that call. After you leave, you go home, you get that call. 5 a.m. Tony have to come to the hospital. We all know that's not a good call.
Not at 5 a.m.
But so I have a love-hate relationship with the hospital, and I just won't name it, but I have a love-hate relationship with the hospital because I was told that, maybe wrong, another baby needed it. So if she was on a ventilating machine, how is it that she died from lung failure? Either the machine wasn't being cleaned or they plugged out the machine. What other reason could there be? So I got the call when I reached up there. I knew what it was, but when they said it, I fainted to the floor and I just screamed because I couldn't believe what she's telling me. Like, I'm not gonna get to carry on my daughter. What? Like, what you mean? And even though I was so sad, Yendi, I was so scared to call my mommy because it was their first grandchild. So I called my mommy's friend to call her for me. My dad, when he heard, he just fainted in the road. It was very, very sad. My brother, I have a very close-knit family. Everybody know family is everything to me. So when I was pregnant, I was completely surrounded. The day it happened, my friends came over. Khalifa was there, Sasha was there, Chubby was there, Dirk was there, my brothers was there. When Chubby come, him just a cry. And even though I stopped crying, he was just crying. I said, Chubby, all right, man. And him don't want you see him crying, but his girlfriend was pushing him. I said, Chubby, I'm 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 okay because everybody's here, you know? Everybody calling me. And then the funeral I was fine until like somebody hugged me and then I just broke up. You see when somebody go through something like this, like not that you don't have to, but you see they need to call them. Being somebody who went through this, they need to call them or message them is okay, but the best thing you can do for them, I pray for them. So anybody I know go through this, me just saying a prayer for you. Like that is the best thing that you can do. Because even though you're near or you're far, the prayer works either way. God just want to hear your voice. The prayer works. So I have times when going through this situation, I call my friend Aisha. I had so many friends to choose from. I call Aisha, I say, Aisha, can you pray for me, please? I'm getting like that again. Carlene, can you pray for me, please? I'm getting like that again. Janelle, don't feel okay. So the fact that I have so many persons to call, I was very grateful. Why did God choose me to go through something like that? At the time, I never know. But guess what? You have to go through it to grow through it. Because sometimes a lot of people want to look at me and say, yo, they want a relationship like mine, for example. Oh, no, 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 let me go through, but are you willing to go through what I went through? Sometimes you're not. I was forced to go through what I went through. God forced me to go through what I went through. I never asked for my daughter not to be here. I was super happy about it. And them just took her from me. God just took her from me. But guess what? She's in the best place that she could ever be. So sometimes I just look up in the sky and I say, God, just kiss her for me. Oh my God. Just tell her I love her and I miss her. I can do that and smile now. But before, when I was so sad, that's what I would do. But while I'm crying, while I feel sad, that's what I do. I just look up and say, God, I don't feel okay. Like seriously, I'm not okay. But I just ask you to take me through this day because I'm not okay right now. And I like me never praise honestly me never praise so much in my life before because I realized what I needed to do. Even though at this time I never realized what he was trying to teach me, for you to just take my daughter. Like she needs to be with her mommy. Like you just took her. But let me see what it is that you needed me to see. And as time went by, I realized that certain things just never bother me anymore. I was still sad. Every Christmas, I mash up. Every New Year's, I mash up. Every time it's her birthday, I mash up. Every time it's Mother's Day, me mash up. Me just always mash up. You see, like how you said that you try to just always be happy. I always mash up. Like, I was like, what I need to do. And then one December is always the saddest time for me because December she was buried in December. No, sorry, we cremated her. So when I think of the day, I always get sad. So Christmas time is not always the best for me. I stopped going to work when even before my deadline. Come, I just can't manage no more. And I say, God, this is Christmas here. I need something. I can't manage this. And then one Christmas, love just proposed. I was like, oh my God. I never expected, but my infamous video, I fell on the floor and I just started roll like somebody on fire. Oh no, I don't say yes. But I couldn't believe that's what's happening. So he planned with Sasha again and Khalifa and my parents.
To change the meaning and the energy of that time of year for you.
So me say, yeah. You know what's funny though? I've been working at Sagicor since 2007. So this year will make 14 years. You see, ever since that happened, everything at work just started turning over. I started to, every year that came, I did better than the year before. So I said, God, you're mysterious. But you know, like, what is, I'm sad, but at the same time,
I'm
my work
winning.
thing just a go on. We just a win and just a win.
Blossoming,
Yes.
but I'm sad.
Yes. So when I tell you I was forced to go through it, I want people to know that sometimes you can learn from people's experience. If you feel God tugging you, answer him. Oh, he might call you, just answer him. Because this wasn't the first. There was a time when there was a New Year's I was visiting my friend in Rochester, Janelle. And the pastor said, God wants me to give somebody a word. She said, you know who you are. Me not think say I mean, but hear this, you know who you are. So come up and just let me pray for you. Me shy, me not go up there so. First of all, it's not my church. Second of all, I sit at the back. Third of all, I'm just not thinking that. But I know, say, this was after my situation. And I know that, you know, in tugging somewhere. When she finished, she said, all right, you don't want to come, I'll come to you. Where did the lady come? Me say, I some start
She walks straight to you, don't it?
she walked straight to me.
Straight to you.
Straight to me, Yendi. She walked straight to me. And
I
me say,
believe you. I believe you. I've had the same experience. I
she
believe
walked
you.
straight to me. I'm
I
like,
believe you.
she put her hand on me and she just started praying. I was like, wow, wow,
Wow.
wow. But at the same time, when I leave there, I said, do you know what I mean? She said, Tony, I don't know, you know, but let's pray.
That's right.
So from late, my favorite thing right now is prayer. Anybody, just pray. Seriously. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. But at the same time, if there's anybody, I'll pray for you from afar. Prayer is the ultimate thing.
That's right.
So fast forward now, living my life, winning, achieving my goals, still being sad. I decided to take some time off. December she got was her funeral. January, Love and I took a trip, a vacation, almost touring, went to Atlanta, then Florida, and we took a little time off. When I came back to work now, the end of January, everybody's, where your belly there? You know, there's a baby. A girl who follows me on Instagram just draw me one side. I said, Tony, go home. Because she see me start ball. The people them frightened because they don't know what
I
happened.
don't know. Oh. And then how long was she in the ICU for? How old was she when she transitioned?
She was 5 weeks old.
So all they know is that they saw you with a belly. For 5 weeks we don't see you because nobody knows what's happening.
Yes.
You've now taken time, you've gone away,
Yes.
you're back, there's
Yes.
no belly,
No
but
belly.
then nobody is seeing a baby.
No baby. And no post on, you know, Instagram. So, wow, something.
Has
And a lot of
happened.
people go through this, you know.
A lot.
Whether a lot of private people or a lot of public people. A lot of
lot.
people go through this, you know.
A lot.
It is so, I guess in Jamaica, taboo for us to speak about it, but I was not quiet about it.
Yeah.
I don't know why it happened. I had a perfect pregnancy. No swelling foot, no preeclampsia, nothing. I developed nothing. She developed nothing. She was normal, progressing normally. I don't know why it happened. So therefore, I said, God is what is. I mean, there are other reasons why it can happen, you know, but I don't know them. I'm not a doctor.
Right.
Like, why this happened? And when I left work that day, I have a mother who cries a lot. Mommy, she bawls enough. Mess with her kids or to see her kids sad. As a matter of fact, no, my mother is somebody I call for a lot of things, even though sometimes we end up arguing. But I call her for a lot of things, right? You see, when I left work that day, because I said, I remember try this now, you know. Because to be off from work, then to go through something so traumatic, which you didn't expect.
Right.
Whoa, how do I approach this?
Yeah.
So I just go out there. When I left, I called my mom. I said, Mommy, I don't feel good. Where are you? Waterloo. Where are you going? Home. But I'm telling you because I'm going to turn off my phone, I don't feel good. Yendi, when I went home, this is so taboo, but it's my story. When I went home, you know what I did? I started to Google, what can I do to sleep and not wake up? Yeah? I started to, and I turned off my phone, you know, so where I call my mother, I call Khalifa, I'm not going to call Love. I don't want him to come home because I want to be by myself and I don't want to fret. I just want to sleep and I don't want to wake up because my daughter is not here. When I tell you I feel it to the core, you know, man. Sleep and not wake up, you know. I wanted to sleep and not get up, but I was not going to. harm myself. And then my husband came home, boyfriend at the time. He's what you call tough love. Him help me too. Cause me soft, me bally, you know.
Girl, you don't see me
Him
mash right
say,
now.
him said to me that, say if you feel like say, you're gonna do this, you think you're gonna get to see her? First of all, if you do this, you're not going to heaven. So you won't see her. So stop the foolishness. Put on some clothes, we are go up on the road. And I did just that.
So you put on your best outfit,
Yes,
your
and I
longest
went on the
lashes.
road because I needed to get out of the
Yeah.
house. I was so sad. There are times when, I don't know, something can trigger me or nothing at all. I just get sad. And I start bawl. And I say, God, please, me have to go to work. Like I have to go to work. But I miss her. Like, what am I going to do without my daughter? I need to see her. And I just was, and there was one time when Love said to me, I know him don't know the effect it had on me, but also I know he was coming from a loving place.
Right.
Him just want me to be okay.
Yeah.
He said, I thought by now you'd be fine. I said, you think I want to feel like this? I don't want to feel like this, you know, because it affects everything that I do. But at the same time, sometimes you just have to go through it. Ever hear about work in progress?
Yes.
You just have to feel what you're feeling and then you'll be fine. But guess what? I believe that one day this will pass, but I'll go through it for now. One day this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Because you see the mere fact that I started, not that I never know, but I started to believe that, you know, so God loved me for true. God loved me, you know, and he's very, very particular about me. There was this random girl on Instagram that messaged me and said she's fasting, she's studying, and God told her to take a break and reach out to Tony. I don't know her, you know. She's Jamaican, she's from Canada, and she messaged me. She said, God just keep calling a name to me, and Tony, I don't know you. I don't know you, but I have to pray for you because he told me to. I said, wow.
And thank God for her
So this is not the
obedience.
first time. And that's what she said to me. She
It's
said,
her
Toni,
obedience.
I'm being obedient
That's right.
because I took myself off Instagram, off social media, because I need to study. But I'm being obedient. And she reached out to me and she just started praying. And I'm like, wow. I have a friend who I call sometimes when I'm sick. And listen to this now. There's a coworker who called me one day. Said, Toni, I'm in my Jaifa class. And God said, call Toni now. Me, I say, oh, so much people have called me. But God said, call Toni now. But I'm in my class, so I had to step out. He said, I need to come up to your house and I need to pray for you. I said, wow. And he said, I need to come now because your husband is not there. I was like, oh, you know that I'm not here. She said, I didn't know, but that's what he said. And I said, okay, Thursday, because this is Tuesday, Wednesday. I have a friend who from time to time, she messaged me and she said, read Psalm this, read Psalm that. I just prayed. She said, make sure you read through Psalm 91.
Jeez, oh, I'm literally falling off my chair.
She said, make sure you read through Psalm 91.
Wow.
So I read it. I didn't think anything of it.
But then your other friend said she needs to come to the house.
So when my friend came to the house, she said, you have a Bible? I said, I left it down my mommy house. But you know, I use my phone and read my Bible. She said, all right. I didn't rehearse this, but let's go to Psalm 91.
No,
What?
No, man.
What?
Yes, man.
I said, look here, and I show her my phone. She said, and she said she freeze. I said, Anisha,
In other words, if you're not getting it from one angle, God said, I'm going to send it here so, and here so, and here so. And if you don't see, said this is what needs to be
I saw my
happening.
eye them start opening. And I say,
Yes.
yo, God love all of we, you know, but right
He's a
now
good God.
I'm special to him.
He's a good
I'm telling you, because he can be through something like this, but at the same time, him giving me the tools that I need, equip me to be better because he really loves us, you know. So him not want you to suffer, you know. So anybody go through anything traumatic is something for you to learn. He does not want you to suffer.
Yeah.
He just wants you to know, say, everything will be fine. I brought you to this so I will bring you through this. Like, seriously. Because me I say to myself, say, me so emotional. God, you know me, I'm your child. I'm so emotional. So why you bother make me go through this for? Like, what all of this for? Me can't take for a ball every minute. All these things. I cannot stand the crying. It really stops me from doing my work. It affects my relationship because all I do is cry and I cannot manage. Like, I was so tired. I was just exhausted. Extreme tiredness. I was so exhausted. And I said, when she come, she said, Tony, we're going to pray. You need to release Delani. And I thought, well, I said, how am I going to release her? She's my daughter. I will forever think about her. She said, you need to release her or you will not get pregnant again. This is my message to you. So I had to lock up my house and I had to scream in the house and release her.
Oh, Toni.
I had to release her. And lo and behold, fast forward, I'm winning at work, you know. I am winning and it feels good. Because my job is not an easy industry.
Yeah.
But I'm winning, I'm growing. I felt my growth.
Yeah.
And I start to believe, say, yo, God love me. So, what you want me to learn, God? Aisha, pray with me, please. Because I need to realize what it is that I need to see.
Right.
'Cause I have to see something right now. And she constantly, Aisha, Allen,
Yes, man.
constantly prays for me. That girl is a gem.
Trust me, a godsend to many of us. Yeah.
And she prays for me all the time. And there was one day where, because of my endometriosis, they said that it would be back. I did the surgery 2014. They said that it would have been back 5 years after. So you can only treat it, you cannot cure it.
Right, right.
So me now, upon a timeline in 2019 to say I need to be pregnant. She came to pray for me at my house in 2019. She said, by the end of this year, you shall. So, you know, me really, I hear what she's saying, but I not hear what she's saying. I wasn't paying it any attention. I honestly wasn't. And because of my endometriosis, I went on these injections to just stop my period because I wanted to try to help to keep back the endometriosis.
Right,
So the menstruation
right.
every month, I wasn't getting it.
Right.
But it would normally start menstruating again 6 to 8 weeks after the last injection.
Okay.
So when I did that now, and when it was supposed to come, I wasn't thinking I was pregnant. Because I hear me fool now. You see when them tell you, say, leave it to God, leave it to God. Every year, every month, for 5 years, my mind was on getting pregnant.
Right.
Every time I saw my period, I cried. Every time I saw my period, I was depressed. Literally in depression, I cannot go to work. Because I want back my daughter. I want her back. And I know, if it's something that I had faith about in life, is that I know God will let me conceive again. Me just never know when.
Right.
Me dey just know it.
Right.
When I tell you, say I know it, I know it. You ever know something about in your life?
You feel it in your
In
soul.
your gut, me know, but me just never know when. So that's where your faith comes in. I know you do it, God, just when. So me just relax. So hear me foo now. Because I was not menstruating, I thought I couldn't get pregnant. I thought you had to menstruate to get pregnant. So my mind was not on it for the time I was on the injection. Right? So when I never see my period come when it's supposed to come now, I say,
The injection's still working.
Professor Frederick, when period? She said 6 to 8 weeks. All right, it's 8 weeks now. What's going on? Him said, I don't know. Honestly, at this time I wasn't thinking that, so I wasn't even smiling. So when I went to see him, I said, what is this? What is this? Oh my God, what is this? Yo, the big plus sign. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw the big plus sign because I did not start to menstruate as yet after this injection. But because me fool, my mind was not on it.
Right.
Therefore, God did what he had to do.
Right.
And I just sent a picture to Love. Love is like, what is that? I say, I don't know what that is. And the day after
You guys
that,
are funny.
he's very dramatic. He give me a lot of joke. The day after that, I was traveling. So I went up on a high. He left to do some shows and I missed him. We lived together, you know, I did miss him. So I went to meet with him to come back home. Like I was just like, I need to be with you like right now. So when I went up there, I was on a high. I was on a high Yendi because I saw the plus sign, but I was still nervous.
Of
I was still
course.
nervous
Because
because
you
I
had
know
two
that,
previous
yeah.
experiences.
So I'm never so super excited. So you see,
Right.
after I passed the 31 weeks where I did the second time, so yeah, but there on my way. You know what I mean? I was on my way. I was super happy during my pregnancy. Work sometimes can get hectic, but I did not let a soul get to me. That's probably why my son is here now and he cried. He
I'm sorry,
smiled
what
so
you
much.
said a while ago? Your son what?
My son is here
Oh, where is he?
and he's almost 1.
Where is he?
He's at home.
Oh, living his best life?
He
He's
is.
here?
He's the greatest joy ever.
Woo!
Like seriously. Not
Won't he do
cliche.
it?
I'm telling you. Because I just want young ladies who go through this to know, and even fathers, that truly, you see, when sometimes you go through a situation, you're going to feel sad because you're human.
Yeah.
And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. But trust me when I tell you, just leave it to God. Pray about it and leave it alone. I've had friends who has been through the situation, and because I feel so strongly about this, when I'm first pregnant, we end up to tell nobody, we know from a long time.
And
And when
just
it
pray
come
over
out,
them.
yeah, just show you, say, yo, God, you see, God, may I tell you, say, what him do for me? It felt so good, like seriously, because I want to help people. One time I had a dream that, I don't know, I'm on a stage and I'm very shy. I don't want to be on no stage. I don't know how you got me here. But I saw myself on a stage winning and introducing the world to my son. And this was before I had my son. But I wouldn't say son, I would say before I had my child. Because I didn't know the gender.
Yeah.
I wanted back a girl because I miss my daughter. The doctor told me I had a girl, so I was happy. Would you believe that when he changed it at 7 months and told me that it was a boy,
He cried.
I cried real tears.
I believe you. And I understand
Gender.
why. I understand why.
I cried. I locked up my phone for 1 week. The doctor tried to call me. I wouldn't answer. My mother fretting. She thinks something happened to the baby. And then after a while, I just brush up. Love cried too. Because together we have 4 boys now. At the time, 3. So he wanted a girl. But when he found out why I was so sad, because I just come in him, no, I go to the doctor and I just not talking to anybody. When he found out that it was a boy, he cried. But you see now, like me look on him and I'm like, I cannot believe I was acting like this. I cannot believe I was acting like this.
It's because you're human. You're human. And the emotions related to, not that she can be replaced, but you wanted the
And I
nanny
still
back.
miss her, you know,
You
because
wanted her back.
Mother's Day I cried.
For her.
And he was here. Mother's Day gone.
Drew was already here.
Yeah, he was already here. I
will always
cried,
long for her.
you know, but
Yeah.
I cried and I felt sad. But then because I sit down and really know and believe that God, I know say you love me, you know. I know say you love me. But I miss my daughter though. I miss her. And I just grab my son and squeeze him and kiss him up. He's such a happy baby. I tell everybody because my pregnancy was so happy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he is like, he smiles and laughs all the time. But at the end of the day, I am so grateful.
Yeah.
So sometimes, ladies, you have to literally go through it to grow through it. Any relationship or situation that you go through. And I'm at peace now. I'm at peace. Because if something, you want something to happen and it not happen, or it don't happen how you want it to happen, I'm good with that. It just never supposed to happen. Anything at way, anything at all, it's just not supposed to happen. So at the end of the day, just know, say, God probably protecting you from something. And I speak so much about this God, because it's true.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way I could be okay if God never sent him angels to just surround me, and there's no way you can't do it on your own. Yeah. So at the end of the day, just pray and know that you'll be fine. I'm fine. I have my son and he'll be 1.
Woo!
29th of June, which is 1 week after myself. So I'm just excited. I'm not even concentrate on my birthday. I just want to like literally celebrate him. He's a tax now because he start work from 10 months old. And he start tearing on everything. But
you're like, but I prayed for this.
I prayed for this.
Yeah.
I hold him and I pray and I said, God, please protect my son. Thank you for keeping my daughter. And thank you for keeping my family close. Because even through the whole ordeal, my husband and I, we stayed so close. A lot of people, it break them up. I've heard situations. People message me. Me and my husband going through something so rough and and we can't get along. I say you have to just pray about it. You have to just literally pray about
It
it.
actually brought you guys closer.
It really did bring us closer together because we wanted to make sure we're there for each other.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure, I want to make sure that love is always okay. And I know it's the same for me. Can you feel it? He's not a PDA person, but if you don't know, say love you. That's it. So at the end of the day, we just want the best for each other. He's my friend first and foremost.
Yes.
He is. So as long as I'm good, I'm fine. Literally.
And you have your peace.
And I'm at peace. Yendi, I'm at peace. I'm at peace. I'm a human being, you know, so I'm going to get sad about things.
Of course.
But I'm at peace.
I'm
so glad for that.
Real. Like if there could be a single story that encompasses everything that beauty in the ashes means, it's yours.
And I thank you for allowing me to share my story. Because a lot of people see me. Many persons know of the situation I went through, but they don't know how bad it got to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just want to show persons that you see me out the road and I look so happy. Sometimes I just come out of the car a ball. Because I just have to let out the tears. You must hold it in. I just have to let it out because I am very contented and at peace right now. But what I had to go through to get through this, if you're feeling that way, you will be fine and this too shall pass. You're going to be fine. Believe me that you're going to be fine. And me telling you you're going to be fine because I know you'll be fine.
Tony, thank you.
You're welcome.
Lordy, nice body, no? You're so nice. By the way, I never know say you tell a story good.
No, the truth is that,
Yendi,
like, I've never had a chance to, like, share with people.
Yeah.
A lot of people go through this, as you say.
A lot.
But nobody, like, really talks about it.
Yeah.
And because I want to help people who, you know, feel sad. Because there are times when I feel sad too, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it's sad, you just want somebody to listen.
Yeah.
I can listen because I also went through it. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's easier when you went through something similar.
You can relate better. Yeah.
I don't have to make up anything because when me sad. When me never want to exist, is the truth. I did not want to exist, you know?
There's no shame in that.
No, I don't feel no shame. So if somebody gonna look on me and say, what? I told this story at work, a little piece. And there was an individual who looked at me like, what? You crack. I said, that's fine if you feel that way, but it's the truth.
And you can own it. And
I can own my truth.
And I promise you,
there
are hundreds of women, like you mark my words today, there are hundreds of women who will watch this and say, wow, that's the message I needed.
Yeah, man, you're going to be fine.
I need to know I'm not crazy. I need to know I'm not alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of women think they're alone.
That's right.
A lot of women don't have anybody to talk to. So, I'll pray for them. I don't know everybody by name, but when you pray for somebody, it works. So we'll be good after that. Yes, thank you so much for allowing me. You're welcome.
No, thank you enough now.
You too.
No, thank you plenty now.
When I was told that you wanted the number, I said, Lord, my heart started beat fast. Because I know it's this. I'm not somebody who shares public space. Believe me, my heart told me.
Thank you for saying yes, because you never had to. And I know it's not been easy. And I know you're not a person that do this. So thank you so much.
And I'm glad at the time you reached out to me because I don't know if I could do it before. I'd just be balling on the place. But I have reached a level in my life where I understand why I went through what I went through. And it's hard, you know. I think it's easy, like to go through something like that. But just know at the end of the day, there's light at the tunnel and you'll be fine. Truly, 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 you'll be fine. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You'll be fine. You're welcome, Yendi. And just forever.